What's going on? Tell you what, I'd love to have a sonar kit. Sonar kits are like really good. Really, really good. Sonar is like the DW of Europe. Um, yeah. Sonar is like a it's the DW of like it's quality. Like quality. Sonar is a DW of Europe. Well, I don't really care how big the kit is, what you do with it. I used to have 4 rack toms, double bass, 2 floor toms, octobans over here, cymbals everywhere, and you know, it was matter of fact, it was a really nice kit. Um, but what happened is I went to an open jam. I went to an open jam, and all there was crash, hi hat, ride, one rack tom, snare, floor tom, and I didn't know what to do with it. Um, and then, like, I didn't know what to do with it. So I learned that. So what I did was I just took that whole kit down, and I just got I set up one rack tom, one floor tom, snare, crack. I got to a point where I was like, kick, snare, ride cymbal, or kick, snare, hi hat. That's it. You know, um, because what happens is I see guys with those big kits. They don't know what to do on a small kit. Put them on a small kit. They're like, this is all I can do. Well, yeah, I've seen guys, with double bass kits and put them on a kit with like a single bass. They don't know what to do. They get reliant on having other options. You know, and I learned after that. I said I will never be like stuck. And my friends, they were there. They were like, yeah, Mark, yeah, and I was like, I don't know if they're blinded by the flashy stuff I could do on a on my drum set, but I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything. And it's because I was reliant on all these options. You know what I mean? Like for instance, if you take away this, and this, it gave me this and this, or this, and this. Take that away. You break it down to a little jazz kit. I could still handle myself on a jazz kit. You know what I mean? And I say that to say I'm gonna challenge you, bro. Don't play on that big kit. Break it down to a little jazz kit. You know, one rack tom, one floor tom, snare, hi hat, ride. Break it down to that. You know what I mean? And only play that. Spend like a year on that. Then go back to adding pieces. You know, adding pieces. You might put two rack toms. You might put two rack toms, two floor toms. You know, or whatever. But yeah, man, don't fall into that trap, dude. Like I've seen guys with double bass fall into that trap. I've seen guys with the big drum sets fall into that trap. And it's they don't know how to do anything without it. You know what I mean? Except no rolls, no nothing. You know. But yeah, so that's why like, I mean, a big kit is nice. I had a Tama kit. That was the biggest one I had was a Tama. I had a Gretsch kit, a 7-piece Gretsch with 3 across, 2 down, double pedal. I've had huge kits. I've had little kits. I got a little kit over there where it's just sounds kind of rattly. It's not. But yeah, yeah. Get rid of one of them rack toms and the floor toms, man. See what happens. My point is strip it down. Strip it down to the bare. You know, strip it down to just the bare minimum. You know, you should be able to play just as effectively and express yourself, rolls and all, not just know. Um, Strip it down to the bare minimum. I saw a guy. It was a guy at Central Park, not Central Park, Times Square. When you're in Times Square, there's literally it's a square. It's like um, and there's a place where if you stand on one side, if you stand at this one point, um, all of Times Square is laid out in front of you. But it's a big area, and a lot of guys they they'll set up. There'll be like a drummer or a bass player and a guitarist, or a drummer and a bassist, or whatever, or just a drummer. This guy had a kick, snare, and ride, and he was ripping. Not just he was, he was shredding on a ride, a snare, and a kick drum. That's it. You know, Okay, Tommy. See you again, my brother. Yo, yo, I love comedians. He said you better get back to wet nurses. He said when women lose their jobs, it's hard to be a wet nurse when you got fake boobs. Jason, thank you, my brother. You know what's crazy? I always overshoot the times, man. I don't know why. I'm always, instead of doing playing here, I always go too far. I always overshoot the times. I don't know why. David, what up? I'm good, man. Just making sure you can hear me. Um, I gotta get another. I don't know what it's called, but you can. It's like a thing where you could mute and unmute. I need a I need an actual mixer. I have one. I have one, but I need the power supply to it. The power supply costs more than the I'm better off just buying another one. You know, it costs more than I actually paid for it. I gotta look on Amazon again and see if I can find one. Yeah, man. Listen, man. This. Hold on. Okay, I thought an alarm was going off. There's the way these social media platforms are. Instagram and TikTok pay peanuts. They pay poop, but you could pop off really fast. Um, Patreon and Patreon, Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. Patreon, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, and what's the name of that? And oh man, um, oh man, I can't remember the name of the platform. They pay a lot more money, but there's um not a lot of notoriety. You know, you got to usually send people to your other. You know, you got to come to that platform with a fan base, with a following. Um, Bandcamp, that's the other one. You got to go there, making sure I'm not muted. You got to go there with your own following. You know, the only thing now they pay more, but you got to have your own pre. You got to have your own following. The the only thing that is in between. That's why I suggest every artist, no matter what you play, no matter what you do, start a YouTube channel. YouTube is the only platform where they pay. They're just as visible as as well. They're slightly less visible than Instagram and TikTok, but they pay slightly. Pay slightly less than those other platforms that have low visibility, but you also have they also provide for you means to like to generate more stuff. Like for instance, you could have a I haven't set mine up, but you could set it up to where it's on tiers. Like you have different this club and that club and this club and that club. I gotta set mine up. You could sell different products. You know what I mean? So it's a mix. It's the great go between from one. If you want to get a following, always push. You know, definitely. You got 99. You need 60 followers to be able to live stream on YouTube. Um, so you should be able to live stream. If you have other platforms, try to. Don't worry about TikTok. Don't worry about Instagram. Start a Patreon page. Start a Patreon channel. Start a Twitch channel. Start a Kick channel. Start a Rumble channel. You know, if you can, because I'm at the point now where in a couple days I'm gonna upgrade to where I can stream on all like multiple platforms. Um, so whatever platform you're on, you can actually go on it and you can whatever whatever whatever. But that's the secret sauce. YouTube is like the hub for all of that stuff. You know, the people I have on TikTok, I tell them go to my YouTube channel. I'm not gonna live stream on TikTok. I'm not. It's not worth it. I'm not gonna live stream on Instagram because the audio is horrible and it's not worth it. I'll build up a following, but I tell them go to my YouTube channel. You know, so um, but yeah, Santiagosa, what up? Hurts right there, and I know what it's from. My workout this morning. I had this mic on. It sounded. I know it sounded horrible. So you ordered them, huh? Yes, sir. You ordered them, huh? Yeah. How much they cost you? I looked up. Did you go on Amazon? They're like $12, like $12.99, something like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Create the. I'm working on this right now. I've been working on that. The only reason I've been working on it for I don't know a week. The only reason why I've gotten better at it is because using those metal sticks, those aluminum sticks, and really doing this like not that fast, but slower. Now I took a week, man. I tell people, man, there are no shortcuts to building speed. Um, but there are things that can help boost your speed. You know, there are things, there are tools that you can use. It's almost like football. I used to play football. That's why a lot of times I kind of refer to football. It's almost like football in that, you want to learn how to tackle, you start using tackle dummies. That's why they have those tackle dummies, so you can learn how to properly tackle. You want to learn how to build, like, run faster, put weights on your feet. You know, um, you want to learn how to run routes and get used to wearing pack like shoulder pads, knee pad, whatever pads. You know, get a book bag, put a weight in it. And just do football drills. Stuff like that. Um, so even with me, I'm now I just started working out because I'm for like drums are such a physical instrument. Like I said, you know what? I have an exercise bike. I might as well just use it. Um, so I'm gonna, I've been getting on an exercise bike for like, I think this is the second week, and to get my stamina up, my cardio up, um, and really to get my power back. Like I used to be 240 pounds. I was huge, like gripped, huge. Um, you gotta eat a lot. So I kind of, so I just stopped. But that stuff turns into fat. So I did tons of cardio, and within 18 months, I went from at first I was 240. When I stopped doing it, the muscle just kind of turned to fat, and I was 235. Then I just started like I was doing like 3 days cardio. I was doing like 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. You know, and lifting weights still, like but low weights, high reps. Um, I lost the weight. I got to 178 pounds, which is unhealthy for me. I ain't been 178 pounds since high school. Now I'm like 205. You know, um, but yeah, so like you gotta kind of commit to your health, commit to taking care of yourself. You know, um, especially when you're young. Like, what is it, May? In 2 months, I'll be 60. And people are like, man, you still play like a young guy. You still look young. It's because I was taking care of myself when I was young. Like, when I say young, really, I got that goes on my mom. My mom was, before it was popular, she was one of those exercise, eat right type of parents. I wasn't allowed to eat salt, because of blood pressure. I wasn't allowed to eat sugar, because of diabetes. There was a lot of stuff. Like, I didn't start eating garbage like McDonald's and all that stuff until I moved out of the house, and I would go on tours and eat a bunch of junk. And you can kind of do that when you're young, but it's best that you stay away from it because when you get older, it catches up to you. Thankfully, I remember, I was in my 20s. I said, you know what? I just got to go vegan. So I went vegan for some years to kind of cleanse my body of all that junk. Now I mainly stick to chicken, fish, turkey, sometimes beef, sometimes pork, but mainly chicken, fish, and turkey. You know, um, you know, and oatmeal because oatmeal is a great source of carbs. Um, you eat a big oatmeal breakfast, the next morning you might feel like, I can't move. The next morning you'll be playing drums for like hours. Ah, you know. But yeah, every once in a while I'll eat some pizza. Like I ate a bunch of pizza last night, but I knew just the carbs from the pizza. Like dudes doing marathons the night before, they eat a bunch of pizza. You know what I mean? Pizza is a great source of um, of like carbs where you can, you know, they it's actually called carbo fueling. You kind of like chill on the carbs, and then if you got something going on the next day, you eat a bunch of carbs. Or if you within 2 days, what's up? Yo, did my Amazon package come in? The what? Cocoa Puffs theory. I told you to watch it. When? Cocoa Puffs. Wait. Cocoa Puffs as in Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs. That? Oh yeah. Dude, he's on crack, bro. He's on drugs, man. He's on drugs. Let me know, man, if the package came. That's the seat. That's a solid state drive and a seat for that exercise bike. All right. Ah, I ain't got no water. All right. Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. I feel about 35. I don't feel like I'm about to be 60. But your parents are smart, bro. They're smart. So you're already kind of on the trajectory, whatever that I was on. You're already there. Yeah, for live streaming. I have a Mac. I got four Macs. I got a Mac there. I got a Mac there. I got a Mac there, and I got a Mac there. But I need a PC for streaming. The last PC I had, I gave it to my daughter. She went to college. She's in college with that. She's in like pre med. Well, not like pre med. She's in pre med. Um, Making sure I'm not muted. you know. But yeah, yeah, yeah. They are. Work on your hand technique, bro. Still got to work on that. What one thing that kind of works? I've just noticed that just now. Ooh, why did I burp into the mic? I gotta blow the stink out. Put it in front of the fan. But oh, I just been. Hold on. I've been using this book. It's called Stick Control, but I use it for my feet. It's exercises that kind of get your feet used to just kind of get your feet faster and work on movement and and hand dexterity. But I use it for double pedal work. Um, and I usually do it to a metronome. Pause on that. I usually play in it to a metronome, and a lot of times, like, well, I'll be watching something on YouTube, and um, I like there's a method to that. Like I do that for um, I do that so I could learn how to play that and just forget it. It's kind of like a wind up clock. I can just let my legs go and just forget it. Um, but that's the thing. A lot of that four limb four weight independence is being able to almost like wind up your limbs and just let them go and trust that they're gonna do what they're gonna do. And it's I'm giving a lot of sauce away that people pay for, but I got other stuff. So I got tons of other stuff. But what it does is it trains your body to be metronomically accurate. It trains your limbs to be metronomically accurate. So I do both, playing bands and teach. Um, I I don't know. I'll say this. Sorry, I was muted. I do both. Um, that's why I'm always doing this because I don't know if I'm unmuted or muted or whatever. But I I do both. I play in bands and I teach. Um, you know, the difference is I'm on YouTube giving tips. Most guys teach as well as playing bands. Most guys do. Um, there are very few that teach. There are very few that teach but don't play, or play but don't teach. Most guys, most especially if you're a high level, most guys they teach. They give lessons. Because what happens is you get to a point in your playing where you've learned so much, you just want to start giving it out. You want to give out free game, man. You want to share it. You know what I mean? Like there are guys who literally they would go and like people like Dennis Chambers. You know, like there are guys. Thomas Pridgeon took lessons from Dennis Chambers. Tony Royster took lessons from Dennis Chambers. What's his name? Ronald Bruner took lessons from Dennis Chambers. Ronald Bruner took lessons from Smitty Smith. He took lessons from Will Kennedy. He took, you know what I mean? And these are, Will Kennedy plays with the Yellow Jackets, legendary drummer. Smitty Smith played with everybody. He was, for a while, he was the house drummer for the Tonight Show when Jay Leno was doing it. But even before then, he was doing the Buddy Rich Memorial Concert. He looks like, if you've ever seen Family Matters, Steve Urkel, he looks like Steve Urkel, but rips on drums. Look up Marvin Smitty Smith, Buddy Rich Memorial Concert. The guy rips. He rips. He's a legendary. He's played with so many people, man. He's a legendary drummer. But a lot of those guys, man, they're, you end up you gain so much experience and knowledge throughout the years that you get to a certain point where you just want to share it with people. You want, you know what I mean? Now, if people want one-on-one coaching or teaching, that's something different. But you want to give it, you want to share what you know. You know what I mean? Even like if you look at Animals as Leaders, Matt Garska, he has a YouTube channel. He shares game. You know what I mean? So, it's just, you wanna, Thomas Lang, Thomas Pridgeon, Justin Brown, these guys have YouTube channels and they teach, so they well at least on their you know on their YouTube channel they give out game, but if you want one-on-one teaching and coaching, you go to them. Like, now they may cost more because Justin Brown, he's played with Herbie Hancock. Right now he plays with Thundercat. He's Thundercat's house drummer. And he's a monster. He's a freak of nature. I first saw him on Gospel Chops Shed Sessions, where I heard of Ronald Bruner, but that was the first time I saw Ronald Bruner. Ronald Bruner he does things no other human can like pull off. Like but he got that way from playing with metal sticks. So. metronome, preferably a talking metronome, preferably this one. This is an Android. They got it for iPhone too. Um, the reason why I say a talking metronome is because it reaps faster results. Um, it's you can get the paid version, but the free version is good enough. You can get the paid version. The paid version $4.99. It gives you like polyrhythms. You know, I have the paid version on here, but the free version on my iPhone. 'Cause I was just like, yeah, I already got it on Android, whatever. If I get a tablet, I can just put it on there or whatever. I already I'm not gonna pay for it on both platforms. I'll pay for it on one or the other. I'm not gonna do both. And the good thing about it is, if you do pay for it, it's free. It's great just as is free. But if you do pay for it, it's a one-time payment. It's not like a recurring subscription-based. Man, that's a scam. Like, I ain't got time for that. It's a one-time payment, and that's it. But yeah, work with a metronome. Use a talking metronome because it tells you where you are at all times in the bar. It tells you where you are, like, so you can kind of, and not only that, but all you need is, you want your timing good, and you want to know where you are in the bar. You want to know exactly where you are so you can get back to one. Or if you feel like playing over the bar line, you can play to the end of two, because it can count one E and a, two E and a, three E and a, four E and a, or it can count one and two and, or one E, two E, three E. Like, you can, it's great, man. Having Henry, I call it Henry. Having Henry in your headphones so you can play along to it, it's great. Counting out loud is some next level stuff. It really is. Because it's hard to talk and play at the same time. Um, but I am. Um, uh, but I ain't no internet. But but what was I gonna say? These guys are hilarious, man. Oh, they are hilarious. But what happened? But I'm not streaming on all platforms yet. I stream I stream on other platforms, but like, you can find me on Twitch, you can find me on Rumble, you can find me on Kick, you can find me on TikTok, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Reddit, you can find me on, like, whenever there's a new platform, I'm on it. Um, but um, but I want to be able to stream all of those platforms simultaneously, and I'm working on that. So um, I'm definitely working on that. Yeah, I can fix this later. All right, you guys. I'm gonna bounce. It's only 1 o'clock. It's 9 after 1. I gotta fix my neighbor's brake. I gotta fix my neighbor's brakes. Um, because his wife's car. They're going to South. They're going to Myrtle Beach tomorrow, and they're like, she's like, I wonder if my brakes are bad. So her husband came over. He's like, Hey, Mark, can you go look at my wife's brakes? I said, all right. So I'm talking to her. She's like, yeah, there's brake dust. I said, well, your brakes are kind of going bad. There's a lot of brake dust. You probably need some new brakes. Well, can I make it to South Carolina? I said, yeah, you should be able to make it. Because I'm thinking, she should be fine. You should go up there and, whatever. It's not, we're in North Atlanta, which really isn't far from South Carolina. So what happens is, she's like, well, his name is Preston. She's like, well, Preston's around the back in the shed. So I go back there. He's watching TV. I'm like, what's up, bro? Your wife needs her brakes done? He's like, yeah, they started grinding. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, that's why I want to know if, is there something wrong with the brakes? I said, yeah, you need some brake pads, bro. They're grinding? He goes, yeah. I said, yeah, dog, you need brake pads. I said, go on and get them brake pads. I'll fix them. This was yesterday. I said, go on and get them brake pads. I'll replace them, man. So. And she said she'll be back around 1:30. It's like 1:20. I mean 1:10 now. So, yeah. And I gotta drain a lizard. So, yeah. I need to invent something that prevents sweaty ears.